Well, hi guys, it's that time. It's our Bible teaching snippet of the day. Today I'm not going to do a Bible teaching. I am going to do my personal testimony of when I was born again in my mother's hospital room. I've been a Christian now. Don't like to really use that word. I have been a son of God, a believer in Jesus for 10 years now. I was an atheist. I've said that before. I kind of decided there really wasn't a God somewhere around the age of 23 or 24. And I want to be honest about this. This is because a lot of the stuff that the church teaches is not true. Okay? It turns people against God when we make claims about Him that the Bible does not say. So, but it does help me now, because when I talk to someone who says, well, I'm an atheist and I don't believe in God, it opens a doorway, and I'm like, it's okay, I was an atheist too. And right then, all of the barriers go down, and I tell them, the God that the church teaches about, you're right. You're not wrong. You are correct. He does not exist. So let me tell you about the one true God, the one that really does exist. And they have an open mind and an open heart because I've been honest with them. So let's get started on my conversion. My mother had a massive heart attack, and the doctors pretty much knew she wasn't going to go home. She didn't have enough heart function left for her to literally get up out of bed and walk. She was at 17% and had another heart attack that took her down to only 11% of her heart. And they were giving her intravenous drugs to keep her alive, basically. She had to have this one drug just to make her heart beat. And if they stopped doing that, it would just stop beating. And they gave her another drug to keep it steady and not to go erratic. So she was on two different heart drugs that was keeping her alive. So we're in restorative care at the hospital. And my sister Becky, I asked her about getting one of Mother's Bibles. She brought me the Guidepost magazines that I would always mail to Mother. And yes, I was an atheist, but I respected my mother, and she loved the Lord, and I made sure she had those little Guidepost magazines delivered to her house. And I asked Becky what Mother's favorite music was, Christian, and Becky brought to me the Gaithers and Elvis Presley gospel. And I played that music, made sure she had a little CD player there in her room, and we played that music for her over and over again. But when I stayed with Mother, I would sit beside her bed. Now, Mother wasn't asleep. She was on pain medicine, but she was awake. And I would read the Bible to her. And I would read the Guidepost magazines to her. And even as an atheist, at night, I would go to her bedside, and I would say, and I would pray for her, because she wasn't able. I would tell God, I do not believe in you, you know that, but I will honor my mother, and I will pray for her because she can't. And I would pray some prayer for her. And one night, after, I don't know, maybe 2 months of reading her Bible out loud, Romans, there's a verse that says, the hearing of the word. And I was hearing the word because I was speaking it and reading it out loud to her. One night, something came over me, and that night I went to her bedside, and instead of saying, I don't believe in you, I didn't do that. I put my hand on my mother's heart, and I just kicked in the throne room door of heaven. And yes, I was trespassing, but I kicked the door in, and I just was very, very bold. And I said, I know that you can heal my mother. You take my good, strong heart and you give that to her. And you give me her weak, bad heart. And you take me. Let my mother live. She's a good woman, and people love her, and they need her. No one will ever miss me but my husband, and he'll be fine. He's strong. He can do this. Now you take my good heart and you give it to my mother, and let her live, and you take me. Okay, this gets kind of crazy because the room kind of shifted, and the temperature drops about 15 degrees. It just gets really, really cold, and a wind blows across me, and I can't stand up, so I kind of fall backwards on the little couch I was sleeping on, and I have my head in my hands crying because I think I'm crazy now. I mean, how does the wind blow in a hospital room? And on my left, outside of me, not in my head, it was a male voice, very gentle and loving. And he said, "Your mother's not getting well. She's coming home to be with me. But I'm not through with you. I have things for you to do." Now, I knew everything that was going on in there was real. But then I'm also thinking, now they're going to have to put 2 white jackets on me because I'm hearing a man talk to me in an empty room. But anyway, I knew it was real. That night changed my life. The next day when I left that hospital, I was a totally different person. That's why I don't call it being saved. He did not save me. He did not pull me out of a burning building. I was born again. I was a new creature who had never lived before. I left that hospital and I did not want to cuss anymore. It wasn't that I tried or didn't. And I used to just be horrendous. People that know me know what a evil, mean person I was. I was not one to play with. I was a very mean person. But I didn't even have to try to quit cussing anymore. It just wasn't in me anymore. Every time I'd turn my radio on, I couldn't stand the secular music. And all I listened to was K-Love, easy listening stuff, or maybe a little bit of country, but I wasn't a headbanger or anything. But even that music got on my nerves, and I would push the scan button and stop on a Christian station 3 days in a row. On the 3rd day, I said, I didn't even know they had stations. This is crazy. So anyway, I went to Sam's Club, and I bought a study Bible, and I started studying the Bible 3 hours a day, just needing to know this God that I had never met before. And my life has never been the same. I've had Christians tell me early on, "Oh, you'll settle down. It'll be okay. You know, you're just new at this. You'll be all right. And they wanted me to settle down and fit in and be your normal little Christian. And I got some bad news for you. I'm getting worse and worse and worse because now I just like to do what Jesus did. I like to go around and I like to heal the sick. I like to raise the dead. Jesus told me to be just like him, not to be like other church people. And so that's what I strive to do. But let me tell you, my friend, there is a difference in being saved and thinking you're not going to hell and to be born again and being a whole different person. And I, my friend, 10 years ago, was born again in my mother's hospital room because the Bible said the hearing of the word, and from the hearing of the word of God, man is saved and born again. And that's what happened to me. So God bless you, and I'll see you here, not tomorrow, it's Sunday, but I'll see you on Monday. So have a good evening. Bye-bye.